Number 1, identify the greatest common factor of the polynomial. Divide the greatest common factor out of every term, and then multiply out using the distributive property to check your work. So I'm looking at this one, I see that 14 I know is 2 times 7, and 4 is 2 times 2, and 2 is just a 2. So I can see right there that a 2 is going to be my greatest common factor. And so I'm thinking, look at the variables next, and I see x squared, x, and no variables, so I can't factor out an x from every single term, so it can't go on my greatest common factor. So then the next thing I want to do, here's how I do in my head. I want to show you that. So I think 2 times what, which is going to go right here, will give me this first term, 14x squared. So 2 times 7 I know will give me 14. And then I've got to have that whole x squared on there because I don't have any x's in my greatest common factor. So then I can think about 2 times 7x squared. Yes, that gives me 14x squared. Next term, 2 times what, and I don't know the sign of it, 2 times what is going to give me negative 4x. Well, I know it's got to be a negative whatever it is because my 2 is positive. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So I know I can put that 2 down. And then I need to have the x on there as well. So then I know 2 times negative 2x will give me negative 4x. And then the last step, I want to come up with a positive 2. So 2 times what is going to give me a positive 2? Well, a positive 1 is the only thing that's going to work because I still want to have that 2 in there when I distribute. So my solution, if I erase all my little underlines that helped me out there, or my factored form is going to be 2 times 7x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now I can check that. 7x squared minus 2x plus 1. And what I want to do is distribute that 2 to every term. And so first term, 2 times 7x squared, that'll give me 14x squared. 2 times negative 2x, that'll give me negative 4x. 2 times positive 1, that'll give me a positive 2. And that matches exactly. We have a little note here that says if the term of the polynomial is exactly the same as the greatest common factor, you've got to put in a 1 as a placeholder. I want to show you this one more way here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. And I want to think about, we decided on that 2 for the greatest common factor, so I just want to show you that it's the same. I'll call it negative 4x, dividing everything by 2. And you can see here 2 goes into 14 7 times, 2 goes into the 4 here, so it's going to be negative 2 times, and then 2 goes into 2, a whole number 1 times, so then you have 7x squared minus 2x plus 1, and of course we have to multiply that by the 2. So either way I go, I should have to put a 1 for that last term, but because they do reduce, sometimes people think it goes away completely, but it's 7, in this case 2 divided by 2, which is a 1, so you do have to show a 1 there. And you can see why when we distribute it to multiply it back out, if this term, this last term was missing, then this last term would be missing on our multiplied out polynomial. It wouldn't be the same thing as what we started with. So we do have to put a placeholder basically for 1 for that third term.